Hello. In this video, we are going to add the feature where the player's progress gets saved in something called local storage. So the idea is that every time you press the play button, that all the variables get wiped out. So we might just want to save some information. That way, if they close the window or anything, then it would all come back. So the first thing would be to save some information, and let's just start with the level that you're on, that level num variable. So it's still good that it starts as 0, but maybe every time you go through the door, then we would want to save that. So player on colliding with door. Now we're already changing the variable itself, but there is a feature called local storage that would let this variable save from day to day inside the browser. So I'm going to look at an example. So I think this website might show some good examples here. So there is a variable called local storage. It's just something that we can interact with. And it has a few different properties we could work with here. All right, so what we're going to do something like this. Set item, where we can set a certain value to have some kind of data, and then we can turn around later and just say get item by what that's called. So this is using a key and value pair, which is actually how our JSON data works, like xvel 200. So we just give it the name, like the category of the data, and then the actual data value. So we can use that set item and get item. So when the level increased, then I think this would be a perfect space to say local storage dot set item parens quotes. I'm going to say level, and then comma for what the actual value is, which is just level num. That's just to make sure that things work, that they don't crash or anything. All right, so I moved on to the next level, so it should have saved like that. So I'll show you how the get item works, but what's actually happening if I go into the inspector here, I can peek at a lot of details. So there's this thing called application where this local storage actually gets stored. So if I expand it I think for the preview, because that's like the website that we're on, we can see how the level variable has a value of 1. Because I'm on level, like the second level, but it's level index 1. It started as 0, then it levels up. So I actually have that data that's sitting there. And if I close my window, open it back up, it would actually be there again. All right, so I should then be able to do this to change the code to where when the game level opens, then I would be able to load up that number. All right, so the expression would be like local storage dot get item parens quotes level. So that will be the number, should be the number 1 right there. So then I probably want to say like level num equals whatever that value is, so that this would just happen whenever it loads up. So now when I press play, it actually does know to bring me back to this level here. I think what we can do as an improvement is maybe actually just have a button or something in the main menu that does this, because I think I don't necessarily want to just have this happen right at the beginning of the game. But just to specify really what's going on here is that it is actually retrieving that data out of um, out of the browser. And I think in my video, if I close this window here, okay, I'm still recording the video. I don't think I saved though. I saved my code. Oh, it did. Okay. All right. So then if I press play, actually after I close that, it loads me back on level 2, so that this progress is getting saved here. Yeah. So the get item stuff, I think I would actually rather be somewhere else. So I'm going to find the menu scene. Well, first I'm going to cut this code. All right, so on the menu here, then I think what I want is another button that says like reload or continue or something like that. So I already have a play button. I'm just going to copy and paste the play button stuff. So it's an object that has, that's going to say continue, has a tag of continue. Then this is going to be 150 pixels lower. All right, let's just see what this looks like. So I'm going to set my code now to go to the menu scene. When I copied and pasted, I lost what I cut. But okay, so I have a little continue thing here. All right, so I also want to add a click handler on that continue button. So I'm going to copy and paste the on-click stuff. So now handling when I on-click an object with the continue tag, then I do want to go game, but I want to set. I'm going to just retype that stuff that I had before, where level num is equal to local storage dot get item parens quotes level. We'll get the value out of there. All right. So I still have the choice to just play the game right from the beginning, or I can click on continue, and that should load up where I used to be, which my browser does actually have a value for this. So when I click on continue here, it should load me up to the second level. And when I click on play, then it loads me back up to the first level again. But it's almost like I have like a save value here, so I can click on continue again, and then there I am. And that's something that happens whether I close the browser or anything like that. And I think I might be able to force an error because you might want to see something here. So what if that data doesn't actually exist? Here's how I could make that be the case. Go into the application settings here. I can right click and I can delete this. So now it's no longer there. So what happens when I click play and then I say continue? Yep, so it's I'm going to throw an error there because that would be undefined. So to be a little more careful, I'm saying level num is going to be equal to whatever I get here, but that might not actually exist. So I'm going to say or 0, just to be a little safer. So those are with the pipe characters that you press shift and then the backslash, which is underneath backspace. Do 2 of those pipes like that. Um, And what this is going to say, it's going to try to get that level number, but if it doesn't exist, it's going to say, or the number is 0. So it'll give up and just give us that instead. Um, so in my situation where I deleted that property, so my browser doesn't know the level property anymore. If I click continue, it'll just send me to level index 0, which is a safe thing. But once I get to the end of the level, and I'm loaded up on that level, and now things should be working again. If I restart the game but click continue, brings me right back onto that level 2.